Hi, I'm Ben, and it's raining outside. So, if you're like me and stuck inside because of weather or coronavirus, you may have found yourself trying to find ways to occupy your time. There's only so many times you can clean the floor before you drill to Australia, unless you're starting in Australia, in which case it's pretty quick to, yeah. You may have also found that you're spending a lot of time meeting with people virtually, whether it's for work, services like Zoom or Skype, or just your run of the mill social media. And you may have found yourself thinking as you glance over at that profile photo that it doesn't look like you anymore. Look, no judgment. I haven't lost nearly as much weight as you're supposed to during this coronavirus, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. Thought it might be good to show a relatively easy and inexpensive way to make a headshot in your home. The gear that I'm using for the most part has been very cheap to acquire. With the exception of the camera, everything came from Amazon. So with a minimal investment, this could be a fun way to take up some time. It could be a way to make gifts for your family and friends. If you think that a picture of your face is a way to give somebody a gift, which is why you won't find my picture anywhere in anybody's house. And as far as a set goes, I'm in a fairly small room, maybe 10 by 10, something like that. With a white backdrop, you could use just a plain wall. You could have a design. It really wouldn't make a difference here. So I'm going to take you through the gear now, and then we'll get to the shoot. The only thing that I didn't get from Amazon was my camera. I'm going to be shooting on my Canon 80D and with a 50mm lens. Now this is a crop sensor body, so that puts the focal length somewhere around 79, I think. I failed most of my math classes in school, so. I'm also going to be employing a tripod. Now this is the Amazon Basics one. I think I got it for $13. Not going to be a great tripod for any kind of travel, but it works in here. It takes up very little space in the room, and I don't anticipate too many big wind gusts here in my studio slash office slash where I sleep when my wife is mad at me. As far as a lighting source, I'm going to be using the Amazon Basics flash unit. I think these are around $27 normal price. Not the best flash unit that's out there, but like I said, getting it done on the cheap here. And it's got a couple of different modes. You can have it in a manual mode. You can also have it in slave modes to where it detects the flash using this sensor. If you have another flash in the room, it will respond to it. As far as a light modifier goes, I've got this one from Neewer. I think it's a 48 inch or centimeter. 120 centimeter octagonal softbox. Basically the flash unit that I've got in there, it's the same one that I was holding, is firing the flash back against this reflective material. It's then bouncing the light outward. It's also got this single layer of diffusion material, which is cool, and this grid. Grid's going to help focus the light so it's not spilling all over the room quite as much. So I tend to like these for portraits. It kind of gives you a really dramatic lighting on one side of the face and not the other. Because that flash is on the inside of this softbox, it's not going to be really easy for me to just hit the button at the same time. So what I recommend is picking up a couple of wireless flash triggers. I got these on, you guessed it, Amazon. They weren't that expensive. It came with one trigger and two receivers, I believe. I bought it a long time ago. It's still going. Runs off AAA batteries. This fits into the hot shoe on your camera, and this goes into your flash unit. Your flash unit can come with little feet, so it can be sat on a desk or with a typical tripod mount. So you just slide this in, and then when you release the shutter on your camera, it'll fire the flash along with it. So if you're like me today, I'm going to be shooting myself. So if you live alone or you have also irritated your spouse to the point where they sent you into another room, you may have trouble operating the camera. So there's a couple different options. You could get a wireless shutter release. Those could be had pretty cheap. You could use the timer on your camera. So hit the shutter, it waits 10 seconds. That can be a bit laborious. So one thing that's pretty cool on the Canon 80D, and I'm sure many other manufacturers have something like this, is that there's an app you can sync to your phone with. And so I can go here, and when it syncs to my phone, I can use it for a couple different things. I can review the images that I've taken on the camera, or I can hit this remote live view shooting. it turns my phone into a live view of whatever it is that I'm pointing the camera at, which is really helpful if you're trying to release the shutter, because it has a shutter button, but it also helps me line the shot up. If I'm sitting down in the camera, because this is basically an 80 millimeter focal length, the camera's across the room from me. So rather than having to get up and constantly check and do test shots, I can just kind of look at it from there, which makes the process a bit easier. Yeah, I don't really know what else to tell you other than that if you're going to take pictures of yourself, you might start with something better looking than I am. But this is more about process than product. One last bit before we shoot. I've got my key light up here at about a 45-degree angle. I'm looking straight on at my camera here. Yeah, that's about it. It's not really a complicated process. Let's get to it. And now I'm going to try putting a second light behind me, see if it changes the background a bit. So that was fun, and I killed some time, and yeah, thanks for watching.